Good afternoon. My name is Dan Scripps, Chair of the Michigan Public Service Commission. I call this meeting of the Commission to order on July 7, 2023 at 1:02 p.m. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Chair Scripps.
Present.
Commissioner Peretick.
Present.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Today's meeting is being held in person at the Commission's office here at 7109 West Saginaw Highway in Lansing. We're also hosting this meeting remotely using Microsoft Teams. It is compatible with all browsers except Safari, and telephone relay service is available through the phone option. If you are participating via Microsoft Teams, you may also turn on the live captions by clicking on the More button on the top right of your Teams window, then clicking on Language and Speech from the drop-down menu, and finally clicking on Turn on Live Captions. As indicated in the notice for today's meeting, if we lose the remote connection, the Commission will not recess. The meeting will be recorded and available for future reference on the Commission's website. In addition, the Commissioners can receive comments via mpsc_commissioners@michigan.gov. For reference, this email is also included in today's meeting notice. We will have an opportunity for the public to make comment as provided in the agenda. A few notes about this. Comments are limited to 3 minutes and one per person. We want to make sure that we have time to hear from everybody. If you would like to make verbal comments, you must do so in person or remotely through Microsoft Teams or by calling into the meeting by phone. For individuals attending in person who want to make a verbal comment, please fill out a comment card. Comment cards are available on the front desk near the podium. For individuals participating remotely by Microsoft Teams and who want to make a verbal comment, you may click on the raise hand button at any time to be queued up for comment. For individuals participating remotely by phone and who want to make a verbal comment, you may press *5 at any time to be queued up for comment. And public commenters on both Microsoft Teams and on the phone are added to the same speaker queue and will be called upon in the order they enter the speaker queue. Please do not lower your hand or press *5 again, or you'll be removed from the queue and lose your place in line. And finally, to minimize disruptions, attendees participating by Microsoft Teams or by phone will be muted until we reach the time for public comment. The first order of business is approval of the agenda for today's meeting, and I recognize Commissioner Peretick.
I move to amend the proposed agenda for today's commission meeting by removing item 4B7, case number U-21265.
I second the motion to amend the proposed agenda. Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to amend the proposed agenda. All those in favor of the motion to amend, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The motion to amend the proposed agenda is approved. I recognize Commissioner Peretick.
I move for the approval of the amended agenda for today's commission meeting.
I second that motion. Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the amended agenda. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The amended agenda is approved. The next item of business on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the June 22nd, 2023 Commission meeting.
I move for the approval of the minutes from the June 22nd, 2023 commission meeting.
I second the motion. Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the minutes from the June 22nd, 2023 Commission meeting. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The Commission meeting minutes of June 22nd, 2023 are approved. The next item of business on the agenda is the approval of orders and minute actions on the consent agenda. And today the Commission is assisted by Staff Attorney Shannon Wambaugh. I recognize Ms. Wambaugh.
Good afternoon. Today's agenda consists of...
Oh, I don't know the Z line.
We're getting some background noise from the remote participants. If you could mute your line, please.
Today's agenda consists of 3 communications matters and 2 gas matters. The proposed orders and minute actions for these matters have been thoroughly vetted by the Commission's technical and legal staff and are ready for your approval.
I move for the approval of the orders and minute actions on the consent agenda.
I second the motion. Is there any discussion? I appreciate your work, Ms. Wambaugh, and the thorough vetting of these matters. We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the orders and minute actions on the consent agenda. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The orders and minute actions on the consent agenda are approved. I recognize Ms. Wambaugh.
Item 4A1 is case number U.
You are not allowed to unmute. To raise your hand, press *5.
As I was saying, item 4A1 is case number U-21368, which involves repromulgation of rules governing the obligations of providers of basic local exchange service that cease to provide the service. The order before you approves the schedule for a public hearing and the receipt of written comments on the proposed rules.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-21368.
I second the motion. Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote, and the order in case number U-21368 is approved. I recognize Ms. Wambach.
Item 4A2 is case number U-21411, which involves a request of Southwest Michigan Communications, Inc., doing business as Bloomingdale Communications, Inc., for a permanent license expansion to provide basic local change service. The order before you grants a license expansion.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-21411.
I second the motion. Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-21411 is approved. I recognize Ms. Wambach.
Item 4B1 is case number U-12270, which involves a matter on the Commission's own motion to investigate methods to improve the quality of electric service in the state of Michigan. The order before you directs the Commission staff to collaborate with electric utilities and cooperatives to develop a report form for use when utilities and cooperatives file their annual reports required by Michigan Administrative Code Rule 460.731 and opens a comment period on the proposed report form.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-12270.
I second the motion. Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-12270 is approved. I recognize Ms. Wambach.
Item 4B2 is case number U-16048, which involves an application filed by Biomass Merchant Plants seeking ex parte approval of modifications of procedures for the recovery costs pursuant to MCL 460.6A. The order before you approves a settlement agreement resolving all outstanding issues in the case and dismisses as moot a duplicative joint request by the parties filed on June 23, 2023.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-16048.
I second the motion. Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-16048 is approved. I recognize Ms. Wambach.
Item 4B3 is case number U-17377, which involves a matter on the Commission's own motion to set the Low-Income Energy Assistance Fund Factor. The order before you establishes a deadline for the filing of comments on the proposed factor by 5:00 p.m. Eastern Time on July 14th, 2023.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-17377.
I second the motion. Before voting on this matter, I just want to express my appreciation to the 29 electric utilities that indicated that they will be participating in the LIEF program for the 2023-2024 fiscal year. Those 29 electric utilities represent record participation. We've never had more than 28 before, and so I'm pleased to see this continue to move towards greater participation. And in particular, I'd like to express my thanks to the Lansing Board of Water and Light, which is participating for the first time, bringing us to 29. As Michigan's largest municipally owned electric utility and one of the 5 largest electric utilities in the state, the Lansing Board of Water and Light is a leader in many respects, including in reliability and clean energy, and I'm pleased to see their leadership in this area as well. The Michigan Energy Assurance Program, or MEAP, that is funded by the Low Income Energy Assistance Fund, plays a critical role in the fabric of assistance programs available to those struggling financially. Last year, MEAP provided energy assistance and self-sufficiency services to more than 56,000 qualifying households across the state. We appreciate our network of grantees that work with individuals and families seeking assistance, our partnership in administering this program with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and the utilities that participate in the program. And finally, I want to specifically thank Wanda Clavin-Jones and her team in the MEAP section of the Commission for their diligent work. Is there any additional discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-17377 is approved. I recognize Ms. Wambach.
Item 4B4 is case number U-17473, which involves an application filed by Consumers Energy Company for approval of new securitization charges for the period of August 2023 through July 2024. The order before you approves the application.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-17473.
I second the motion. Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-17473 is approved, and I recognize Ms. Wambach.
Item 4B5 is case number U-20932, which involves an application filed by Consumers Energy Company seeking ex parte approval of the company's proposal to issue bill credits to its natural gas customers to refund approximately $1.6 million from an approved 2020 voluntary refund and to donate a remaining balance of $30,167 to a charity of the company's choosing. The order before you approves the application.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-20932.
I second the motion. Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-20932 is approved. Recognize Ms. Wambach.
Item 4B6 is case number U-21251, which involves a matter on the Commission's own motion to establish a distribution system data access stakeholder workgroup. Staff member Kayla Gibbs will describe this order.
Good afternoon, Chair Scripps and Commissioner Peretick. My name is Kayla Gibbs and I'm a Commissioner Advisor. The order before you in case number U-21251 is in the matter of the Commission's own motion to conduct an electric grid integration study and provided recommendations to improve the readiness of the distribution system for both distributed energy resources, or DERs, and electric vehicle or EV infrastructure growth in response to Senate Resolution 143 adopted in September of 2020. The MPSC established the Distribution System Data Access Work Group as part of the My Power Grid initiative to explore the matters outlined in Senate Resolution 143. The MPSC received technical assistance from NREL, one of the national labs, to support the workgroup's efforts and the grid integration study. The workgroup engaged a variety of stakeholders to analyze project interconnection issues and system-wide impacts of integrating distributed generation, or DG, and EV infrastructure to increase the adoption and lower administrative costs for contractors, developers, site hosts, and customers. In addition, exploring the benefits of having a publicly accessible bidirectional mapping and grid integration tool to prepare for the increased energy demand in DG technologies. The final grid integration study was filed on June 30th, 2023, in case number U-21251, and the Michigan Legislature, which addresses the potential grid impacts of interconnecting additional DERs and EVs, changes to the system design and operation, and system benefits, costs, and other impacts. A set of recommendations were supplied to address potential concerns and next steps related to interconnection to the distribution grid. The recommendations are as follows: increasing data availability and improving hosting capacity map capabilities to assist in integrating DG and enabling further market and solution development while also maintaining data privacy. Revising capacity map visualization and vocabulary to send proper signals to customers and developers for the interconnection application process. Exploring a minimum level of electric service for all residential customers to enhance the adoption of residential DERs and EVs, and leveraging federal programs and other funding sources for equitable access. Automating the hosting capacity analysis toolkit to provide accurate and timely representation of grid capacity while investigating costs and best practices for expanding the use of tools to support distribution planning and facilitating expansion of DERs and EVs. Enhancing the hosting capacity map to allow for visualization tools for both load and DG by providing increased accessibility and usability in areas to accommodate DERs, EVs, and emerging technologies. And finally, developing successor DG and DC fast charging tariffs to further integrate DERs and EV charging stations when DG programs are fully subscribed. As technologies and customers' loads shift over time, the electric grid will continuously evolve to meet the demands placed upon it, and to reduce the customer costs of the evolving grid, enabling informed decision-making using transparent data is paramount. The recommendations of the grid integration study maximize customer and system benefits.
Thank you, Ms. Gibbs. I move for the approval of the order in case number U-21251.
I second the motion. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I would just like to thank everyone who participated in the research and the writing of the report just described by Ms. Gibbs, including NREL and all the parties that submitted comments to improve the report and recommendations. So it was a huge effort, initially begun and primarily shepherded by former Commissioner Tremaine Phillips. and resulted in an important document that lays out recommendations and next steps to address impacts of increased electricity demand and distributed energy resources. In particular, I'd like to thank Kayla Gibbs, Joy Wong, Cody Matthews, Eric Hanser, Nick Evans, Al Freeman, Anna Schiller, Josh Towsley, Jesse Harlow, Kathy Cole, Paul Proudfoot, and Julie Baldwin, and all other staff members who contributed to the report. As growth in demand for electricity increases due to adoption of electric vehicles and other electrification, and as increased distributed energy resources come online in our state, we need to ensure that we're prepared to handle these changes. The recommendations, as described by Ms. Gibbs in her presentation, will increase benefits to customers, improve system reliability, ease the interconnection process, and allow for growth of DERs and ensure that the correct changes in grid design and operation are being made to prepare for the future.
Thank you, Commissioner Paratek. We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The order in case number U-21251 is approved. I recognize Ms. Wamba.
Item 4B8 is case number U-21407, which involves an application filed by Consumers Energy Company for ex parte approval of Amendment Number 3 to the Power Purchase Agreement with TES Filler City Station Limited Partnership. The order before you approves the application.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-21407.
I second the motion. Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by a unanimous vote. The order in case number U-21407 is approved. I recognize Ms. Wamba.
Item 4B9 is case number U-21414, which involves a request for a declaratory ruling filed by 9 member regulated cooperatives. The order before you grants the request for declaratory ruling and finds that Michigan Administrative Code R460.744 does not apply to the 9 member regulated cooperatives.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-21414.
I second the motion and would just like to express my thanks to the 9 member regulated cooperatives for bringing this to us. We take steps to stay in our lane, to regulate the utilities that we regulate, but not to regulate those that we don't. And this was an important clarification that I think reflects the intent of the legislature and certainly our intent in moving forward, but provides clarity all around in terms of the applicability of some of the recent rule updates to these member-regulated cooperatives. So again, express my appreciation to the 9 cooperative electric utilities that brought this to us. Is there any additional discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by a unanimous vote. The order in case number U-21414 is approved. I recognize Ms. Wamba.
Item 4B10 is case number U-21458, which involves an investigation into Consumer Energy Company's meter malfunctions, estimated billing practices, and delay in new service issues. The order before you opens the investigation and directs Consumers Energy Company to file a report by August 4th, 2023, and the Commission staff to submit its analysis and recommendations of the company's report by September 29th, 2023.
I move for the approval of the order in case number U-21458.
I second the motion. Is there any discussion? We will now have a vote on the motion to approve the order. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by a unanimous vote. The order in case number U-21458 is approved. We've now reached the time reserved for members of the public to address the Commission. As mentioned in the notice for today's meeting, we will take public comments in the following order. First, from individuals attending in person, and then from individuals participating remotely, either through Microsoft Teams or the phone, who have entered the speaker queue. I don't believe that we have any comment cards in advance. Are there any members of the public who would like to provide public comment today in person? Okay, we'll now turn to public comments by the remote options, either through Microsoft Teams or the phone. For individuals participating remotely by Microsoft Teams and who want to make a verbal comment, again, you may click on the raise hand button to be queued up for comment. When it is your turn to speak, please click on the mic button to unmute. Individuals participating through Microsoft Teams also have the option to turn on their camera. For individuals participating remotely by phone and who want to make a verbal comment, you may press *5 to be queued up for comment. When it is your turn to speak, you may press *6 to unmute. Public commenters on both Microsoft Teams and on the phone are added to the same speaker queue and will be called upon in the order they enter the speaker queue. And again, please don't lower your hand or press *5 before you speak, or you'll be removed from the queue and lose your place in line. As a reminder, this public comment period is for commissioners to listen to comments and concerns and not to answer specific questions. When providing comment, please indicate your name and where you live if you're willing to share so that we have that for our records. And again, please limit comments to one per person and keep them brief, no longer than 3 minutes, so that we have a chance to hear from all who would like to comment. Do we have anybody? Okay. I don't see any hands raised or folks in the speaker queue. Give that another minute to see if there's anything that comes through. Again, you can raise your hand if you're participating by Teams, or press *5 to be queued up if you're participating through the phone option. Okay, we'll conclude public comment for this meeting. Again, we'll have a chance at the next meeting and every one of our meetings. Before we close, a few announcements. First, I'm excited to welcome, or to welcome the appointment, at least, of Alessandra Carrion, who was appointed by Governor Whitmer at the end of last month, last Friday. She will start on the 24th of this month. It will be her first day, Monday the 24th, and serve the remainder of former Commissioner Tremaine Phillips' term until July 2025. As noted in Governor Whitmer's announcement, Ms. Carrion joins the commission from her current role as manager in the carbon-free transportation program at RMI. And prior to RMI, she managed the responsible material sourcing team at Ford Motor Company and also worked with Ford's global sustainability team on ESG and corporate sustainability programs. In addition to these day jobs, she is also the co-founder and co-owner of Pizzaplex L3C, a triple bottom line business in Detroit that serves authentic Neapolitan pizza. So we're excited to welcome her for many reasons. She's an engineer. She earned a Bachelor of Science degree in chemical engineering with a focus on environmental engineering from Rice University and a Master of Business Administration from the University of Michigan Stephen M. Ross School of Business. I know it is to the chagrin of many of our employees that you have an entirely U of M commission at this point. Her first day, again, will be July 24th, and she will be the first Asian American member of the commission. So we're excited to welcome Alessandra Carrion in the next couple of weeks. In addition, I just want to express my thanks to the legislature. They recently wrapped up the budget, including ours, and so it's always a nice chance to say thank you. Notably, relating to the commission, we received authorization for additional employees related to gas safety activities under authorization delegated by the U.S. Department of Transportation. We received $21.3 million for a renewable energy and electrification infrastructure enhancement and development grants program that received some additional guidance in terms of eligible criteria. So look forward to putting that program together and making some funds available. $5.5 million to support the activities of Michigan Saves, and I'd note as part of that Michigan Saves this summer is celebrating $500 million in loans that have been made under the program since they were created by the commission back in 2008 or 2009. So congratulations to them. And then direction from the legislature for the commission to continue our outreach and public engagement activities. We've worked hard over the last couple of years to step up our activities in that area, and I'm excited by the legislature's encouragement and direction for us to continue. I believe that wraps up my announcements. Commissioner Paratek, I believe that you have a few as well.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to note that the Commission is hosting a virtual energy storage technical conference on July 25th from 1 till 5 p.m. There's additional information on our website, and the agenda for this technical conference will be posted to the docket for case number U-21399 early next week. And then I also wanted to note that yesterday, the Department of Energy Grid Deployment Office announced the award of $14.9 million from Michigan's Grid Resilience State Grant. This is supported by the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, Section 40101D. These two-year grants will help modernize the electric grid to reduce the impacts of climate-driven extreme weather and natural disasters while ensuring power sector reliability. We look forward to continued collaboration with the Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy on planning the execution of these dollars as subgrants to eligible entities. More information, including Michigan's objectives and criteria for subgranting, may be found on Eagle's Funding Opportunities webpage called Grid Resiliency.
And actually, I missed one going through those, so thank you for those two announcements. Just a reminder that the annual meeting of the Mid-America Regulatory Conference, or MARC, is taking place in Grand Rapids, August 6th through 9th. We're excited to host that. A ton of staff work has gone into it, going back all the way to 2020 when we were originally supposed to hold it, and obviously postponed because of the pandemic. Special thanks to Amy Rittenhouse and Sarah Mulkoff for their leadership in putting this together, but it really has been the work of many hands. I'd note that we will have more than 100 speakers. I think 22 or 23 different sessions, either plenary sessions, main stage, keynotes, or breakouts covering a full range of topics from water to energy, both electricity and natural gas, telecommunications, transportation, you name it. If it's a regulated industry, we're covering it, as well as 8 workshops and tours, really highlighting all that we have to showcase in Grand Rapids and indeed Pure Michigan. So we're excited for that and looking forward to welcoming our regulators from across the Midwest to Grand Rapids next month. With that, I think we have run out of things to talk about. So the next regular commission meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, July 26th, 2023 at 10:30 a.m. Note the special time there, 10:30 a.m. Is there a motion to adjourn, Commissioner Peretick?
I move to adjourn today's commission meeting.
I second that motion. We'll now have a vote on the motion to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries by unanimous vote. The meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.